with the show and get on board Laxmikant Shukla first, who's a technical analyst, institutional research, Yes Securities. Hi Laxmikant, good afternoon and thank you so much for joining us. And let's start by picking out the first stock from the jewelry basket, like Anushka mentioned, Kalyan Jewellers. And that company is buzzing on the back of the fact that the quarter 3 updates was very encouraging as the company recorded a consolidated revenue growth of 42% on a year-on-year basis. That was driven by the festive demand. The company stated that the demand during the period following Diwali also remained rather robust, despite the volatility in the gold prices. Now, the same-store sales growth was nearly 27%. Adding that the international revenue was higher by 36% on a year-on-year basis. Now, during the recently concluded quarter, Kalyan Jewellers launched 21 Kalyan showrooms in India, 1 Kalyan showroom in the UK and 14 in Canberra showrooms in India, taking the total showrooms across the world to 469. On the back of strong, robust updates coming in from Kalyan Jewellers, that stock is up and away and now 3.4% in trade.
All right, so that's Kalyan Jewellers up 3.4% in trade right now. But another jewelry counter in focus yet again, that's Senco Gold. Significant gains coming in over there. Now, the has surged nearly 11%, actually 14% right now on the back of a strong Q3 business update. Now, remember, it has seen 51% year-on-year growth as far as the revenue is concerned, which is a sharp jump from 6.5% in Q2 and 28% in Q1. And this indicates strong festive-led demand that we saw in the quarter gone by. And for 9 months of FY26, revenue growth stands at 31% on a year-on-year basis. So good momentum over there. In fact, the retail business in the quarter gone by, that saw growth of 49% on a year-on-year basis. This was supported by 39% same-store sales growth. Apart from that, diamond jewelry, they have also seen a growth of about 36% on a year-on-year basis. Again, driven by festive buying and also wedding demand. So yes, a very good performance coming in for Senco Gold. The stock is up more than 14% right now. Very good momentum going on in all of the jewelry counters.
All right, moving on from the jewelry counters to the defense pack. Laxmikant, you have picked up BEL for us. The defense names were abuzz yesterday after US attacked Venezuela. But talk to us about the fact that how do you see the charts for BEL? Because BEL has been very range-bound in the last few, it has moved up in the last few days only. But on the charts, what do you see for BEL?
Good afternoon to both of you. Yes, you're right that BEL has seen some sideways kind of momentum. But it has been having a strong support there in 200 SMA levels, and 2 days back the stock has given a strong consolidation breakout with the formation of long bullish candle. So we expect that this momentum will continue, and it has also reclaimed its 50-day SMA level with the formation of this bullish candle, and it is still holding above its long-term moving averages. RSI is also trending higher and MACD is trending in the positive territory. So we expect that this momentum will continue. So one is having good opportunity to buy this stock at current level around the zone of 410 to 413, and I think from there we will see further upside move. Immediate resistance is seen near the levels of 418 to 420 kind of range. Once it taken out this level, then after it will move forward toward our target of 440 to 450 kind of range. So we expect that bullish upside move, and one can keep the stop loss of 395 on the downside till it hold this level. We expect that a breakout on the upside toward the levels of 440 to 450.
All right, so that's BEL on the charts, but let's move on to the next counter that is buzzing in trade, and that is Oswal Pumps on the back of the coverage, initiation of a coverage by Nuvama. Now, Nuvama has initiated a coverage on the company, citing its strong positioning at the intersection of agriculture and solar energy. The brokerage has initiated a coverage with a buy rating, and they valued the stock at 18 times FY28 estimated earnings and set the March 2027 price target of 720 rupees, implying an upside of 42% from the current levels. Now, the brokerage has viewed Oswal Pumps as well placed to benefit from the rising solarization of agriculture, supported by its deep expertise in pump technology and in-house solar module manufacturing, which is believed to be delivering meaningful life cycle cost benefits to both the government and the farmers. And Nuvama has estimated that Oswal Pumps would report a revenue, EBITDA and PAT compound annual growth rate of 21%, 13% and 11% respectively over FY26 to FY28. Now, the brokerage said that the growth was normalizing from a high base, noting a sharp expansion of 66% in revenue, 86% in EBITDA and 95% in PAT over FY24 to FY26 estimates. And on the back of that, they have initiated a coverage with a buy call.
All right, so that's Oswal pumps for you. But now let's talk about Titan as well, yet again from the jewelry space. And good momentum coming here as well. The stock is up nearly 4% after that strong Q3 update. Of course, this was also led by festive-driven jewelry demand and also steady store expansion that we have seen in the quarter gone by. The consumer business that grew about 40% on a year-on-year basis with 56 stores added during the quarter. Jewelry sales, they rose about 41% year-on-year, supported by high average selling prices, strong gold exchange traction, and also Tanishq, seeing that gold traction and nearly doubling of gold coin sales. Now, the studded segment that also delivered its best performance of FY26, while like-to-like growth that remained very healthy. Water saw growth of about 13% on a year-on-year basis. Eye care rose about 16%, whereas the international business that has jumped nearly 80% on a year-on-year basis. So yes, very good momentum over there. Brokerages are largely positive, with most of the brokerage firms maintaining a buy or neutral rating and hiking the target price as well. So yes, Titan continues to be in focus, trading with gains of more than 4%.
All right, moving on from Titan to another counter, Laxmikant, that you picked out, the BSE. Now, that's another counter, that has been rather sideways, Laxmikant. So on the charts, what do you see? What are the levels to watch out for?
Recently, BSE has given falling trend line breakout on the daily chart, and we look at the structure of last 7 to 8 days of sessions. Then it has been making higher tops and higher bottom, and still its prices is trending higher above the bullish crossover of 20 and 50 DMA. We have seen MACD positive crossover with the bullish crossover in the RSI, so which is again showing strength in the counter. So we expect that this upside move will continue. So one can buy this stock around the levels of 2,720 to 2,730 and keep the stop loss of 2,665 on the downside, and can expect the upside move toward the levels of 2,880.
All right, 2,880. Those are the. Hi there, welcome back to ET. Now you're watching Market Fatafat with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Ankita Saxena, and we're discussing all the top buzzers in trade today. And now it's time to talk about Divi's Lab, which is actually trading just about 0.2% lower right now. But Laxmikant, in the past 5 days or something, we have seen gains of nearly 4% in this counter. But from here on, where do you see the stock headed? Is it going to be on the downside or the upside?
Yes, 2 days back, this stock is consolidating within the range of around 6,500 to 6,300 range. But in yesterday sessions, this stock has given huge breakout on the upside. It has surpassed its downward sloping line coming from its previous swing high of 6,900. So I think with this breakout, we could see further momentum in this stock. Although in today's sessions we have seen some sort of selling pressure, and this stock is going to retest that falling trendline breakout. So from here on we could see some rebound in this stock, and till it holds the levels of 6,420 on the downside, we expect upside move, or we can see further consolidation. But I think as it has already surpassed its previous swing high, so we could see continue positive momentum in this stock, and our near term our target stand around the levels of 7,000.
All right, moving on from Divi's Lab to Tata Tech. Now, Tata Tech is in focus on the back of a note by JP Morgan, where they have upgraded the stock to neutral from its earlier rating of underweight, and has also raised its target price to 710 rupees from an earlier 570 rupees. Now, the revised price target implies an upside potential of 10% from Tuesday's closing levels. Now, JP Morgan has upgraded its revenue estimates for Tata Tech over the financial year 2026-28 by 2% to 8%, and its margin estimates by 70 basis points to 90 bips now, thereby leading to an EPS upgrade between 2 to 6%. Now, out of this organic revenue and EPS increase in 2%, while the rest is to factor in the ES Tech acquisition, the Tata Tech organic revenue upgrades are driven by improving the auto engineering research and development demand, particularly in the European Union, which is Tata Tech's biggest market. On the back of this upgrade coming in from JP Morgan, Tata Tech is up away 4% in trade.
All right, so that's Tata Tech for you, up more than 4% right now. But Laxmikant, you've picked out Wipro for us, and it's one of the top Nifty gainers today, trading more than 1% higher. But the results are just in about 10 days or so. So, given this scenario, against this backdrop, what are the charts suggesting? Where do you see the momentum going forward?
Since last few days, this stock has always rebounded after taking the support from its 20-day SMA levels. Even in today's session, the stock has formed bullish belt hold candlestick pattern and is still hovering near its previous swing high of 270 to 272 kind of range. So we expect upside breakout in Wipro at the levels of 270 to 273. I think from there we could see build up in the momentum, and we could see further upside move in this stock toward the levels of 285 to 288. So that is our expected target. On the downside, as I said, that the stock always found support from its 20 SMA. So there we could keep the stop loss of around near the levels of 260. So that would be the strong support for the Wipro. And as long as it defends this support, we expect this breakout. And after that breakout, this stock could achieve our target of around 288, 285 to 88 range.
All right, 85 to 288, that's the range that we're looking at for Wipro. But now let's also talk about the hotel industry and Indian hotels. That one is in focus today after Morgan Stanley has downgraded the stock. It has cut the rating on IHCL to equal weight, that's from overweight this, while marginally raising the target price to 811 rupees. Now, the brokerage says that the RevPAR upcycle that continues to be intact, but growth is no longer surprising on the upside, especially on a higher base. And for the December quarter, India's domestic hotel industry that's expected to clock gains of about 9 to 10%, with room rates rising 8 to 9% and occupancies improving about 2%. However, due to a very strong base, IHCL's standalone RevPAR growth that is seen moderating to around 8%. Morgan Stanley still expects about 10% YOY EBITDA growth for both standalone and consolidated operations, but it has cut the EPS estimates for FY26 to 28 by about 2 to 3%. So yes, that's the latest on Indian hotels, and hence the stock is trading about 2% lower.
All right, moving on to the next counter that is in focus, and that is Cipla. That is getting hammered in trade today because Lanreotide, that's European subsidiary for Cipla, has received a Form 483 with 9 observations. Pharmathin, Cipla subsidiary based in Greece, has also received a Form 483 with 9 observations that relate to manufacturing and quality practices. The company has seen a supply crunch in the Lanreotide last year in the Q3 of FY25 and had just began to regain market share. And the market share before the supply crunch was at 30 to 35%. Market share rose to 22% at the end of the second half, and the supply issues last year impacted the overall North America sales. In North America, that was down at 2% on a year-on-year basis. On the back of these subsidiaries getting observations, Cipla is down and out 4% in trade.
All right, so that's Cipla for you, down nearly 4% right now. But Laxmikant, you've picked out Aurobindo Pharma for us from the pharma space, and it's doing pretty well in trade today, up about 0.7%. But if you look at this past 6 months trend, it has been, more or less range bound, just about 4.5% of gains in 6 months. But from here on, what do you see on the charts? Is a trend reversal likely?
Yes, you rightly pointed out that from the last 6 months, this stock has been consolidating within the band of 1,240 to 1,160. But if we look at the structure of last 5 sessions, this stock has formed dragonfly doji candlestick patterns, and then after it started making higher tops and higher bottom after reclaiming its 20 and 50 SMA levels. And in today's session, the stock has given range breakout of the levels of 1,240, and then after we have seen upside move in this stock, although after the mid session we have seen some sort of selling pressure. But I think that as this stock has given range breakout on the upside with the bullish crossover in RSI with decent volume, so we expect that it could move higher toward the levels of 1,320. So that is our expected target, what we anticipate by looking at the structure. And on the downside, I think the levels of 1200, where 20 SMA is placed, could be seen as the strong support for our Aurobindo Pharma.
Right, Laxmikant, thank you so much. That was the last talk of Fatafat. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us all your picks. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Market Fatafat. Kanishka and I will take a leave. Thank you so much for tuning in.